All right, let me reach up and turn this point of view camera on because we're going to be doing our very first loop lesson video. This is been a big request here on the channel, so this is going to be great. I'm going to take you through how I make loops to play along to and just creating rhythms and little passages. But before I do, here's a little background. Prior to our move down here to the Florida Keys in 2016, I had never done this in any form or fashion. I had never looped. Thought when I started playing music here in 2016 as the Coconut Cowboy that people would want to more hear me play, acoustic Jimmy Buffett style music like most performers do down here. And that is one thing that most folks do. They have an acoustic guitar and they're singing barefoot Jimmy Buffett songs. So it became apparent to me, number one, although I enjoy that very much, just another person doing that was nothing unique from an entertainment standpoint. And the fact that people like to get up and close and personal to somebody who's performing for them and trying to play some solos and just extending your musical vocabulary. There's an entertainment factor to that people enjoy, getting up close and personal, watching somebody playing a solo to a song or something like that. So pretty quickly I started realizing I need to create a bigger sound that would basically be my band. And I started diving into this loop stuff. I literally did not watch anybody else do this. I started watching looper brand stuff like the Ditto Looper and then the bigger workstations, because in my mind I could create some rhythms pretty quick and grab a passage of a song. So what you're about to see is my final combination of what works for me over 1,000 shows as the Coconut Cowboy down here. And it's really a cool thing, and not very overly technical. It's not the latest and greatest as far as the loopers are concerned. Matter of fact, to me, these are the simplest, best that you can get, and I'll explain all that because on the front end of this, that way you'll know all this information and you can go back and kind of stop and learn if you decide you want to pursue some of this stuff. So let's talk about the configuration that I'm going to be stepping on down here. So now to the point of view camera, we've got a normal pedal board like you might want to have, whatever it is that you so decide, but let me explain mine. We got a tuner, 2 Nobles, tremolo, phaser, Joyo American, IR type thing, amp simulator, compressor, GE7 EQ, the new Boss IR 200, that out into a reverb. And then from that point on, this is where we get creative, okay? We leave out here, this is actually a buffer to keep the signal with all the pedals at the maximum technical output that you would like. And then we're hitting this AB switch. This is a JHS pedal that is just simply an AB, sending the signal to an Fender Deluxe for me to solo over, or sending it to, if I were playing live, this would be going to my mains. In this situation, we're going to let the super reverb be the main, which is where the loop is going to go to. So I will create a loop that will go to the mains, the house. In this situation, it'd be the super reverb amp, but that's the mains. And then once I'm done with that, once the loop is created, then I'm going to hit that AB switch, and then I'm going to be able to send all this pedal stuff, however I want to, up to my amplifier and have the pleasure of playing with all these great pedals. Now keep in mind, just because you're using the AB switch, you still have all the flavor of doing what you're wanting to do that you can send to the mains through the loop. The loop pedal is going to catch whatever you decide to capture. So the cool thing I will tell you that I recently learned about the Boss IR 200 is that it sends an incredibly strong, enjoyable signal to the house without having a lot of coloration, additional additives that you have to rely upon. Before I had any of these amp sim pedals, especially the Boss IR 200, which is only here in the last couple of weeks that I actually came across this. I always had to have a combination of some of the pedals, whether it was EQ and compression or booster or whatever, heading to the house, because the house speakers are different than the amp. So therefore, putting this all together to get a good signal to the house, and then all of a sudden when you stepped on the A/B switch and sent it to your amplifier, sometimes you were out of the ballpark depending on what you've done. So the Boss IR 200 has the benefit of actually being a solid sound going to the mains on its own accord. So that's a cool thing. So when you hear this, this is the Super 400, Super Reverb rather, Fender, that is pretending to be the house sound that I would use. So, I would have dialed that in a little bit more and getting some better tone. Yeah, it's not too bad. Keep in mind, just using the loop pedals now to capture a groove and then a passage of whatever melodic part that you want, a chord progression. So the first thing that I do when I capture a loop is I create a percussive pass most of the time, something that sounds like the drums. So what I'd like for us to do, let's just pick a nice, we'll do a little blues group like Kansas City or something like that. We've got a little shuffle. So that kind of imitates right there by muting the strings, just barely holding them, and being in the neck pickup of any guitar, and especially forward of the neck, where the neck joins the body. You can change tones. You'll find all this stuff. Every guitar's different. So, but by doing that, we get that rake sound. That's the first thing I do when I create a loop. And then going to the first RC1 pedal. And why do I like the RC1? This is so important because you're going to see that it has an indicator of time. So when the loop starts and when it ends, you'll see that visibly, because a lot of times the creation of the loops, I don't know where I'm at depending on the nature of the loops. And unlike a lot of looping today where it's so incredibly redundant, 4 chords over and over and over and over and over, some of the creations that I'm able to make loop-wise, they're, for the most part, they're their own songs. Peaceful, Easy Feeling is a great example of that. And we'll do that a little bit more advanced later. But right now, let's just get a nice little loop going. And these RC1s, they're inexpensive. You can get them on Reverb for less than $100. They have a visual. There's different modes. You're going to see that my modes are set up differently on both pedals because I like one pedal to engage, record, and then when I stop, I want it to continue to recording. That first one, I like to have it continue to record, so I can not just do that, but I can do the kit. You'll see that. And then on the second pedal, you'll see it's a tap down, record, tap off, and ready to go. And then if I need to add more to it, then I have to re-engage the pedal. You'll see all this stuff. So let's do a little Kansas City in the key of A. Little shuffle in key of A. Ready? Keep in mind we're going to the mains. So here we go. That's the hat, and there's the kick. And that fast, we're done. And if you're looking down here, you can see that we've got a length of time. It sounds pretty good. Now we get our chord progression we're going to use. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Kansas City. I'm going to Kansas City. Yeah. And all that I'm doing is playing the tempo. Engage that second pedal, which is capturing both the first loop and this. On the beat. You gotta be good on the beat. Now I'm gonna add it. Double tap. Now, listen to there. Here's where we hit the A-B switch. Now we're going to the amplifier, which is still being piped through to the mains, but now unique of the loop. Throw a little verb from the Newx. Turn the mains up a little bit. little nobles, right? As you can see, the loop is still playing, which provides you that band sound. The rhythm, the groove, percussive stuff was captured in less than, 3 seconds? Go back and watch. I'm not sure. It was very quick, right? And then all of a sudden you're capturing whatever passage of a song that you decide you want to. In this case, the song Kansas City or something similar to that, right? And now you got this cool little thing going. Now don't forget, in a live performance, you got to get out of this. So I'm going to pretend we just made this loop and I'll sing it for you and play it for you. I'm going to Kansas City, here I come. And I'm going to show you how I get in and out of this. I'm going to Kansas City, here I come. They got some good looking gals and I'm going to get me 12. Might as well not stop at 1. Well, I'm standing on the corner, 12th and Vine. Well, I'm standing on the corner, 12th and. Well, I see a pretty girl, Lord, I'm gonna make her mine. Watch what I do right here. Well, I might take a plane, I might take a train, but anywhere I get there just the same. Going to Kansas City. Now I erase that second pedal for the next song, and I engage the first one. I'm playing a little groove too. They got some good looking gals, I'm gonna get me. Now in the live setting, I have just erased both pedals for the next song, but now I have to A-B back to the mains because that's where the loop is created. And I'd grab another song like, how many Jimmy Buffett fans are out there? Oh, just create my loop. I hope you enjoy the song. It goes a little something like this. Watching the Sunday, all those tourists covered with old, strumming my 6th string on my front porch swing. Smell those shrimp, they're beginning to mourn. Wasted away in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of soul. Some people claim that there's a woman flame, but I know it's my own. That was all being captured on that second pedal. Here we go. Blew out my flip-flop, had to stop recording on the second pedal, and also shut off the second pedal so we're not double percussive stuff. Just in case we're off, we won't start flamming. But if you listen, there's your track now. And at the same time, I didn't realize I'd already kicked the amplifier up by switching the A-B switch. Don't think about it now. Add a little delay. this song. Blew out my flip-flop, stepped on a pop-top, cooked my heel, had to cruise on back home. But there's booze in the blender, helps me remember that frozen concoction, helps me hang on. Switch to the mains, waste away in a Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a one way, but I know it's my own fault. Now, one thing I like to do live is, while I have a groove that can go to several other songs, I might just keep on twirling, you know. Now, this is strictly for entertainment stuff, but just to give you an idea how effective these loops can be, and you get your mind wrapped around your music differently, check it out. I've got my toes in the water, can in the sand, not a worry in the world. Root beer in my hand, life's been good today. Life's been good today. Or you could do this one. Sitting at a tiny table at a ritzy restaurant, she was staring at her coffee cup, was trying to keep his courage up by buying booze. Talk was small, but he talked it on. They both knew what they wanted, but not to talk about it. Knew how to keep it calm and keep it cool. Wasted away in a Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of. Some people claim that there's a woman playing, but I know it's my own. Let's get at it. So you can see, if you can start wrapping your mind around looping, what a powerful tool it is to just open the world of playing indefinitely to the creations that are in your mind. For me, I've just got so many things that run through my head. Just a little example of just that, from, you know, Margaritaville to little Zak Brown to amazing rhythm aces, and I could keep going on, just keep going on. I've been working on a Peter Gabriel tune. Remember the song Shock the Monkey? Man, just great. And you wouldn't think that you can get a groove. Here, check it out, man. Come on, let's do it together. I ain't figured out what key I'm going to do it in, but these, you just figure on, when you're trying to create these loops, what are the key elements that people will remember in a song? So Shock the Monkey, and which maybe some of you viewers might not even remember that song, and I'm not overly a Genesis fan or Peter Gabriel fan in terms of the extent of the deep catalog, so I only know the stuff that was on MTV. But that in particular, what a great tune! So check this out. So what I would do, let's do it in here. So you got to know the song, number one, and kind of the groove, right? But does that mean you have to do it that way? No. This is the great thing about looping. You play the drummer that's in your mind. For me, I'm going to do something that's going to be Shock the Monkey. So I'm going to get that loop going. Once again, I'm on that front pickup, and I'm going to. Now, the second thing I need to know is kind of the essence. Well, and let me stop right there, because there is something that I should not have done, and sometimes this catches me even live. I had the reverb on, because when I was playing through the amplifier for the guitar reasons, it sounded good. But sometimes when you're creating your loops, if you get your delay still on, well, you can get some kind of, thing that doesn't rhythmatically work. Reverbs are like that too. So, you just have to get into a mode of understanding what's going to work or not. For the folks that are just going to do this house, it's not a big deal. For me, live, sometimes I create these loops and there's like all this tug of war going on because I look down and I go, dang it, I've kicked off a song and started creating something and I forgot to do X, Y, Z. Happens all the time. It's the cool thing about the live thing. I love it. But, keeps you on your toes and nothing's ever the same. So let's try this again. Now I get a dry signal. And if you want to get some kind of cool, here's a little tip for you. Either a wah pedal or, in this case, a little a phaser. You can hear kind of changing that a little bit. So we're going to do Shock the Monkey. Now, of course, listen, why are we doing this song? Just to show you that, dang it, you can just do anything that you want and have yourself something to play to that's so cool. So let's try it. Get the groove. How fast did that take? Right? Now, the keys to this song are kind of cool. It had a riff that went, so I'm going to start at 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just trying to buy me some time to try to figure out how to get into the song. Sometimes I need that song. I'm not looping yet. I've created the percussive thing. Then I will go. Just giving it a little something new. When don't you know you want to shock the monkey? Shock the monkey. Shock the monkey. Shock the monkey. Then out. Shut the other pedal through the amp so quick. Come on. No, and I did little 4 on the. I did 4 bars, and then the verse. Still have to learn it. Kind of cool, man, I'll tell you. Oh, let's see what we got while we're doing it. just a quick example to show you how I just start having fun with this loop. So this is loop lesson number 1, kind of getting acquainted with what you want to use to do it. It takes, for me to do what I do, I have to do it on at least 2 separate looping entities. That way I can quickly create the loop rhythm, the groove, that, and then send that in addition to whatever chord structure I decide I want to play to. So it's endless what you can do with the imagination capturing segments of songs. The biggest adjustment that I had was the realization that you cannot do songs exactly like the album. You just can't do it. Well, maybe you can. I can. I do, there's several thousand songs that I've ended up looping in part or whole, whatever. And the goal is never to, I've never tried to get it exact, although there's a few that you can absolutely do very, 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 very close and have some incredible lush sounding stuff. When you pump this stuff through, a few big QSCs like I do here for my live performances, folks, I'm gonna tell you, it sounds full, and you'll look up and it's just you doing it. So it's incredible. But don't get hung up on trying to play a song exactly like the record. So I try to find the critical parts of the song that people would recognize. The riffs, like if I'm going to loop, you want to get that in there. If you're going to do, you want to get those kind of signature things in there, because when you finally create the loop and it has those elements in there, there's that tonal and audio familiarity that is classic to the ears of the people that are listening. So that so helps you in the presentation of your song, even if it is a version that is not arranged necessarily like the original. Songs like Kansas City and songs like The Thrill Is Gone, you can get really close. Songs like Black Magic Woman, yeah, just a host of everything. There's not a song that you can't loop. That's the greatest thing that I can tell you. It's just not necessarily going to be the exact version of it, which comes to the most important thing, the inspiration that we talked about on the last video. That's what you're looking for. And this stuff inspires me. I don't know that this video caught it, but I have goosebumps playing. I do. I can't believe I'm playing Shock the Monkey, which came out in 1982, a Peter Gabriel song, which you'd never associate with somebody in a cowboy hat. And I always tell the fine folks when I start doing other genres, non-typical genres, that you would think, oh, this guy's not going to know that. I always tell them, don't let the hat and the cowboy hat and the boots fool you. Last night at the show, there was a request for Pink Cadillac, Pink Cadillac, crushed velvet seat, and I did this really quick. I don't know Pink Cadillac other than just enough to be dangerous, and I did rush velvet seats, riding down the back, cruising down the street, waving to the girl, wiggling out of sight, spending all my money on her. I know the chorus, right? Probably like you do, but I bet you probably don't know all the lyrics. But then I went. How your mind will put stuff together. And listen, we just went from Bruce Springsteen and the Pointer Sisters to Metallica. So all this is to say, this is the first video. It's so incredibly long, but listen, for those who've asked, don't know how to do it any shorter to introduce you to this. Hope you've made it this far. The next lessons that we'll be doing will be much more maybe song specific. I'll start just looping songs. You can see how I do it. I won't play you necessarily entire length of something. It's just to show you some ideas and to do what? To inspire you, because it inspires me. God bless you. Thank you for hanging around with me with this, and let's keep on inspiring each other. God bless you. Thank you all. Bye-bye.